All right, guys, thanks for having me come in. I really appreciate the opportunity. I know we have been talking about this microwave system for quite a while now, but it is finally now on the market. It's called Intelliblate. It is one of our very first novel machines or devices that we created basically all in-house with a combination of Siemens. What you'll see down the line as things begin to develop with the software side of things, there's going to be a lot of functionality that can be brought to this machine as well as other systems down the line. But here it is here. As you can see, it's a small, robust, but powerful machine. I got it powered up for you. This is when we hit the start button, this is the first screen that pops up. Allows us to select the type of procedure as well as a custom window. But just the actual machine itself, it does come with a cart if you would like a cart. It's a very easy to assemble cart with basically a locking nut that allows us to sit right on that and be moved around the room. This one is obviously small enough to just sit on any tabletop, so you can plop around the tabletop. It's not very heavy at all, so it's easy to move as well. But again, the machine, it is a 2-probe machine. We have 2 actively different generators, meaning that we can do 2 active ablations at the same time with completely different formatable sizes for 2 different ones. Again, we can link them as well, so we can do a single, we can do a dual linked, which I'll walk through these here in a sec. A dual linked ablation as well as individual separate ablations on completely different areas of the tumor or of the organ, and allow us to get the procedure done a little faster than before. Sorry, there goes my probe. That's okay. So walking back through this, again, we have 1 probe here, 2 probe here. We have the option to input some temperature probes, some additional temperature probes if needed, as well as our slots to actually plug our probes in. So walking into the machine itself this is where our coolant is going to hang from our saline. Each of the probes over here, which we'll also go through, has its own spike to allow you to hook up any saline to the machine itself. So when we're going through the machine, we're going to just actively look like we're going to do a standard liver case with a 1 probe ablation. So we can go liver. Again, it's very intuitive, very easy to use. So for example, if I wasn't there, somebody in your staff could easily set this up himself. It does have even a guide me feature, which they can turn on and they can hit the guide me and it'll walk them through exactly what to do during the procedure and how to set it up. So going back, just going over to the monitor itself, again, we have a single probe ablation. We also have the ability to do a linked ablation where both these are actively working together to create a large size ablation, as well as I mentioned, that novel feature of having 2 independent generators to allow 2 different size ablations to be happening simultaneously during the procedure. So go back to 1. Walking through the screen itself, we have our watts and our time, which is going to dictate the size of our ablation. We do have these nice custom presets that we can just slide through, which allows us to give us a nice, quick, efficient size for after we measure the tumor. Say we wanted a 3 centimeter burn, we can walk right over to the 3 centimeter or 3.1 centimeter and get that size that we need quickly without having to go through any charts or anything like that. Over here, we do our standard needle page. We have our temperature, which is going to allow us to see all the temperature that is being produced by the different thermocouples on the probe itself. We have the energy that is being delivered to the ablation, as well as the active power that is being delivered to the ablation. So this is going to give us some great informatics that we can look at after the case, during the case, to see what's actually happening during our ablation. So coming back to our needle portion of this, we're just going to set it here standard, and we're going to actually set a probe up so we can take a look at the probe. So when we're looking at our probe, this one is a 15 centimeter probe. We have also a 20 and 27 centimeter probes. We have our cassette, which is going to link right into here. Again, there is this guide me feature, which can walk you through all that, but I'll just do it myself. So a nice little variant stamp, which is going to show us how to put it in. We go right upside down, where this will then begin to lock our cassette. And this is where our water will fill up from our spike that is going to be hooked into our saline bag. We will then hook in the actual power source, where we have a nice little arrow on there. And you'll hear these audible clicks letting us know that we are linked in. And you'll see these light up so that, yes, we know that we're actually linked up to the system. This one will always have this kind of teal color. This will be an orange color so that we never get the probes mixed up during the procedure. This probe itself has a couple clips on it, which allows us to hook to the bed, so it doesn't So no probes are falling off like you just saw a second ago. Luckily, this isn't going into a patient. When we're looking at the probe itself, we have multiple markings that are going to correlate to what's on here. So as you saw when we plug this in, these thermocouple temperature sensors illuminated, and it's giving us 3 active readings at 3, 4, and 5 centimeters up the probe shaft, which is going to allow us to know if we're next to any critical structures, and we can watch to see if those critical structures are heating up. So it's a great little piece of technology that they input along this actual shaft to give us more information, to keep the patient safer, and to keep it to have a much better ablation in the long run. On the top of this, this is going to be very useful down the line with some Siemens scanners, but it is a laser guide, which allows us to give a kind of a macro setting of where our laser is going to go, our trajectory, where we're going to put it in. Just magnetic. Use it if you want to. Put it on. Take it off. It's a pretty cool little feature. So again, with one probe, this is going to be our active ablation. So right now it'd be a 3x3. Again, we can change that. We walk through. We can customize this. Where when we do go to customize it, it doesn't have those standardized ablation sizes. But when we do go back to our normal ones, we can go and choose our normal sizes. Again, if we have another probe, it's going to do the same thing. It's telling us right now there's not a probe in number 2, so it's not going to let us do anything, but it will show you the size of the ablations we can get, all the way up to around a 6x6 centimeter burn. Again, these are the independent ones, so we have probe 1 in if we want to do a whole. So if we wanted to start an ablation with this one, get the ablation going, hit start, we can actually reposition this needle, put a needle in, and start that for a completely different second needle. When we're walking through all these different, during the actual case itself, we're going to have all these different, this data that is going to help us guide us through our ablation as well. And when we're done with the procedure, we have finished our single, we got the independent screen, but we'll finish our single ablation. That gets our needle. We're done, and we can just come in and hit our unlock button, unlock cassette, and we are done with the case. So unlock, obviously just throw it away, toss it in the garbage. And then this is now unlocked. Pull it out, throw it away, and we are good to go on to the next patient. But overall, I think it's a very fantastic machine, especially being a dual generator system. We have all this new technology built into the probes as well as this to help us monitor that patient during the ablation. As I mentioned, with the software integrations that we'll see down the line, there's one called My Ablation Guide that is just about fully out. It's going to have a lot of features for ablation confirmation and a lot of different things that you can work through to understand what your actual ablation is happening, if that tumor is actually being ablated. But overall, this is the Intelliblate system. It's going to be available for access to everybody here very, very shortly. If you have any questions, please shout them out. Let me know. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.